Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
A man is dead in an overnight shooting at a home in southwest Bakersfield. The latest details from the scene coming up.
Honoring the two fallen Porterville firefighters, today thousands are expected to pay their respects and honor the heroes who gave their lives in the line of duty. We're live ahead of the ceremony.
New information this morning about the coronavirus patient up north who may be the first case of community transmission. And we're watching Wall Street after the biggest one-day point drop ever. What that means for you and your 401k. This is Friday, February 28th, 2020. Good morning, 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. We've made it to the weekend, and it's going to be a bit of a different weekend because we've had spring-like temperatures, and now we've got a storm headed our way.
Here comes winter once again. It's kind of this flip-flop, flip-flop. Let's turn things over to Kevin Charette, who's got a look at your forecast on this finally Friday.
Well, it's not going to be an impressive storm, that's for sure, heading into Sunday. Yesterday was a warm day, but not as warm as the previous day. We had 78 degrees. Didn't shatter a record or anything, but it was definitely above normal. We should be right around 66 this time of year. 83 the record set back in 1980. Right now we sit at 55 degrees, so much warmer overnight because of the cloud cover, basically acting as that insulation blanket over the valley. An east-southeast wind at 5 miles per hour. And as we take a look at today, starting out in the 50s, 77 at noon, and by 3 o'clock we're looking at 82, and I expect those clouds to hang around today. 50 degrees out of Tehachapi right now under a calm wind, and as we take a look at the day, we'll be in the 40s and lower 50s up in the mountains, and then mid-60s as we progress into the afternoon. I'll have much more in your forecast coming up, but first let's get a check of the morning commute with Alex.
All right, thanks so much, and taking you outside for the first time this morning. Here's a look outside at the 99 at Airport Drive, and as you can see, it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. Everything else around the county is also looking pretty good to start off your Friday morning. We will have another check of your morning commute coming up in about 15 minutes.
We're following breaking news this morning. Bakersfield police are investigating a homicide overnight in southwest Bakersfield. It happened just after 2 this morning at a home on Pacino Court. That's near Stein Road, north of White Lane. Police were called there for reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they found a man dead. Police have released few details about this case, though, so far. It's unclear what led up to the shooting or if police are searching for any suspects. And we'll bring you new details as soon as we get them. Today, the city of Porterville is set to honor the two firefighters who died fighting a blaze in the city's only public library.
Thousands are expected in downtown Porterville to pay their respects to Captain Raymond Figueroa and firefighter Patrick Jones. 17's Taylor Schaub is live in Porterville this morning with a preview of the service later today. Taylor?
Good morning, Maddie and Alex. This morning, hundreds of law enforcement and first responders from across the state of California will join the Porterville public to honor two of their heroes. The memorial service kicks off at 11 a.m. this morning at the Church of the Nazarene on West Olive Avenue. It holds more than 2,000 people, this church does. Yesterday, crowds lined the streets in Tulare to watch the procession of firefighter Patrick Jones. Jones was just 25 years old when he died inside the Porterville Library. He and fire captain Raymond Figueroa were the first to respond when flames broke out last week. A Kern County native, Figueroa was honored in his hometown of Delano Tuesday. Today, there will be a procession that begins at Fire Station number 2 here in Porterville. That will happen at 10:30 this morning. It will go south on Newcomb and Olive on its way to Port Naz Church, where we are right now. There were so many people expected to attend this service, guys, that organizers came up with 2 alternate locations where you can watch the memorial service. You can either go to Landmark Christian Church at the corner of Westwood and Olive, or Galaxy 9 Theaters in Porterville. They're going to have one theater open so the public can go in there. They can watch this service live. Again, this church right behind me holds about 2,000 people, but there's going to be 2 alternate locations for the public. And if you can't make it out today, we're going to have it on kget.com and all of our social media platforms so you can follow along with us. And for now, live in Porterville, Taylor Schaub, 17 News.
Yeah, a lot of people are expected to come out today.
Such a devastating story. Thank you, Taylor. 5:04 now, and this morning we're learning more about a woman in Northern California who contracted the coronavirus in what officials called community spread. The woman is from Solano, and that's Solano County near Travis Air Force Base. That's where the federal government set up a quarantine for people seen as a high risk to the virus. But the woman had no known exposure to the virus and has not recently traveled. Health officials say the woman likely acquired the virus in the community.
It's also very important to note that this individual is not a repatriated evacuee at Travis. We have had multiple planeloads of evacuees at Travis Air Force Base, and this individual has no connection whatsoever to that federal mission and to any of the personnel that have been involved in that evacuation process. So this does appear to be a person who genuinely did acquire their illness in the community.
Right now in our state, 28 people have the coronavirus. There are now more than 83,000 confirmed cases of the virus around the world. It's killed at least 2,800 people worldwide. That's less than 4% of all cases. Most of those deaths are in mainland China. We'll continue updating you on the outbreak all morning, and coming up in our next half hour, we'll tell you what the White House is saying. Plus, at 6:30 here on Sunrise, Garrow Ellis from MoneyWise Wealth Management will be on to shed some light on the toll the coronavirus is having on the global economy.
Your time now is 5:06, and 17 News is your local election headquarters, and you saw it here on TV 17 last night. 4 of the 5 candidates for 5th District Supervisor took part in a live KGET debate.
But just as the evening was marked with who was there, much of the focus turned to who was not. 17's Aton Wallace co-moderated the debate last night and has more on the story.
Let me begin by saying this was a debate that focused on the issues of the 5th District, including homelessness, public safety, and oil. But incumbent 5th District Supervisor Leticia Perez was not there for any of it. She was a no-show.
Live from the 17 News studios, this is the 5th District Supervisor debate.
Moderated by 17's Jim Scott and me, the debate was supposed to feature all 5 candidates in this race, but instead featured Perez's challengers because she never showed. They are David Abbasi, Ronnie Cruz, Ricardo Herrera, and Ben Valdez. Now, despite repeated confirmations from Perez and her team that she would appear, she did not. No explanation, no courtesy messages, nothing. So we left an empty podium for her on set, you see right there. Meantime, the candidates hope to represent this district for the next 4 years, a district which represents much of South and East Bakersfield. Perez's challengers took the opportunity to criticize her leadership.
Obviously, we have a supervisor that doesn't care enough to come here today. What is that saying about our district? What kind of leadership are we having? That's unacceptable behavior. And because of that, that's why we need change.
The reality is that we need better leadership at the county level. And her lack of being here, it shows that she's not caring about the people of the 5th District.
I would say, you know what? You have no honor and no integrity. And you don't betray your constituents by betraying their trust. I just felt that was wrong and very, very wrong.
Enough is enough. We need genuine people with real solutions. Kern County deserves better.
In case our viewers were wondering if possibly Perez had a serious family emergency or accident, well, we checked into that. Several people contacted 17 News to say they saw Leticia Perez at a birthday party fundraiser for another Valley politician. Pictures were also posted to social media. And at this hour, we still have not heard directly from Perez. Election Day is this Tuesday, March 3rd. In studio, Aton Wallace, 17 News.
17 Court Watch now due back in court this morning. The woman accused of rubbing a hamburger bun on the floor and spitting on it before serving it to a police officer. Tatiana Hargrove worked at the McDonald's on Rosedale Highway near Allen Road. We've obtained police reports that say another employee of the restaurant where she worked witnessed her actions. By the time police were notified, the officer had already eaten some of the food. You may remember Hargrove was at the center of a high-profile case back in 2017. That's when 2 officers mistook Hargrove for another suspect, and she was bitten by a police canine. Hargrove said she had been thrown to the ground and punched by the officers. Hargrove sued the city of Bakersfield but lost the lawsuit. Today she's in court for a preliminary hearing on the new charges. That's at 9 a.m. Hargrove is charged with a felony of mingling harmful substances with food or drink and a misdemeanor battery charge. And looking ahead to Monday, Leslie Chance will be back in court to learn her sentence. Last month, jurors found the former elementary school principal guilty of killing her husband, Todd. In 2013, she faces a sentence of 50 years to life in prison. 17 News will be there as Chance learns her sentence.
All right, it's 5:09 now, and a police chase in Southern California ends in a terrifying crash.
Coming up, the whole thing was caught on camera. Why police believe the suspects were on the run in the first place. We're back at 5:20 in your 17 Crime Watch. The family of a teenage girl helped catch the man accused of forcibly kissing her. It all happened around 11 a.m. yesterday on Union Avenue. The 15-year-old girl says a man grabbed her as she was walking home and kissed her on the cheek. He wrote his number on the girl's left hand and then let her go. Her family had the girl call and set up a meeting with the man. When 37-year-old Rolando Arellano Castillo showed up, her family used pepper spray and a stun gun to restrain him until police arrived. Castillo was booked into Kern County Jail on suspicion of annoying, molesting a juvenile, and battery.
More controversy this morning surrounding those pro-Measure D signs placed around Bakersfield. Mayor Karen Go for Mayor campaign says those signs are being placed on top of Go campaign signs, even though she has not come out against the medicinal cannabis ballot measure. Take a look here. You can see a Measure D sign was placed on top of a Karen Go for Mayor sign near the intersection of Oak Street and Truxton Avenue. Yesterday, a volunteer with the Go campaign took the sign down.
They've actually stabbed through the sign here, straight through the American flag, which I can think of no better metaphor for what this measure is going to do to us as a community, because we can pull the sign out, but that scar is still going to be there, right there through the heart of the American flag.
Measure D backer Cecilia Latu said the campaign did not place the Measure D sign on top of the Go sign and added there are many groups in support of Measure D, making it difficult to pinpoint who is responsible. She promised to make sure it was taken down. This is not the first time the Measure D campaign has landed in hot water over a campaign sign. Earlier this month, the pro-Measure D billboard featured Kern County detention deputies without their permission. The Measure D campaign apologized for that incident and said the billboard company was to blame.
5:22 now. It was a fun fundraiser to help feed a big need in our community. Golden Empire Gleaners hosted its inaugural Rhythm and Roots event at Buck Owens Crystal Palace last night. In addition to food, there were raffles and entertainment by singer John Pemberton. The money raised helps the Gleaners continue its mission of feeding the needy in Kern County.
We take this money and we're not out buying latte machines. We're out feeding the poor and feeding those that are really in need. And a lot of them don't know where their next meal is going to come from.
We are going to do our raffle for the night. But before we get to our raffle, it's a white.
And who's the man in the snazzy bow tie? 17's Kevin Charette was the MC last night. A late night for him, but I heard it was a really fun event. Packed house at the Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I've heard also good food. All right, 5:23 now, and still ahead, trouble from Wall Street to Main Street because of fear from the coronavirus.
Coming up in our next half hour on Sunrise, what members of Congress are doing behind closed doors today to deal with the threat.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
It's 5:26 now in your 17 Business Watch. AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, and T-Mobile will all be reportedly fined $200 million by the FCC for selling consumers real-time location data to third parties. The fines are expected today, but the companies will be able to challenge the amount before they become final. In the wake of a report out last year, some of the carriers pledged to stop selling data, but others have defended the sharing of data as a general practice. Food delivery service DoorDash is getting ready to go public on Wall Street. The company announced yesterday it has filed for an initial public offering. DoorDash did not say when it will happen, or how many shares it could potentially sell, or the price range for the IPO. This comes at a time when competition is fierce among the several companies in the on-demand delivery industry. Walmart's working on a competitor to Amazon's Prime delivery service. According to digital news site Recode, the retailer will start testing its membership program, Walmart Plus, as soon as next month. It's a rebranding of the delivery service Walmart already uses. Under Walmart Plus, customers will be able to text their orders and check out in stores without waiting in line. Plus, they're eligible for discounts on prescription drugs at Walmart pharmacies. Alex?
All right, Maddie, thanks so much. 5 people were shot and killed at the Molson Coors campus in Milwaukee on Wednesday, and this morning they've all been identified. How the community is remembering them still ahead.